2015 has been proclaimed the Year of the School Trustee in Saskatchewan to acknowledge and honor the Saskatchewan School Boards Association's 100-year history of supporting student achievement and success. Over the course of a 100-year history, our association, its members, and their communities have endured difficult times of war, drought, and depression. But still, the longest-lasting and most fundamental responsibility of school boards is to bring the voice of the public to publicly funded education. One only needs to read our history book to learn that every section, every perspective, each and every vote, resolution, and appointment that has shaped our association and our education system was fueled and led by committed and passionate individuals who care about students and their communities. They are the locally elected trustees who make up boards of education in Saskatchewan. When immigrants began to be introduced to this province, the first thing they built was a church, and the second thing, a school. The community elected members from among their own to oversee the school. The board ran the school, hired the teacher, and paid the teacher, sometimes in chickens or eggs. Education was a foundation of their new life in this country. One can almost say it was a sacred trust. We have gone from thousands of individual school districts to the 28 school divisions we have in our province today. 255 men and women voluntarily serve as school trustees in this province and are responsible for overseeing the provincial education operating budget for approximately 175,000 students attending more than 700 schools in Saskatchewan. Throughout the years, the association has been fortunate to have so many dedicated individuals who have given their time and service to sit on the provincial executive.
Boards of education make me proud in this province because they work together. They work with each other, they work with all the partners in education in order to make things better for their students. Each trustee comes to the table probably with a different motivation. But once they get to the table, they see this is what the real thing is about. This is what's important. And looking at those students and ensuring that every student has that opportunity, that's what's important. And I think that's what makes me most proud about being a trustee and about boards of education in this province.
The executive advocates with a unified, province-wide voice on matters identified as important by the membership. Together with the SSBA staff, the executive also promotes the important work of boards of education in improving outcomes for all students and builds relationships with key education sector partners and other stakeholders to ensure views of boards are represented in all considerations. In 1915, 100 years ago, public school boards in the province came together to form an association. Today, the Saskatchewan School Boards Association is a legislated entity that represents all school boards in Saskatchewan, public, separate, and francophone, urban, rural, and northern. Membership in our association has always been voluntary.
Well, they're voluntary, so what makes me most impressed is that, they come together on their own time to support children, regardless of where they come from and their personal circumstance, to really be able to do the best that they can do. And we can see that in the outcomes and where our children go and how successful they can be after school. The beauty of working for the elected and being able to lead the opportunities to support better outcomes for children in the province is very exciting for me. And it's very motivating to see the results that when you engage people from local communities in working together, the outcomes are enormous.
The mission of the SSBA is to provide leadership, coordination, and services to member boards of education to support student achievement. SSBA services have changed and evolved over the past 100 years to best serve the membership. Today, they include board development, communications, legal, strategic human resources and employee relations, First Nations and Métis education, insurance and risk management, and employee benefits. Over the course of 100 years, it is fair to say that members of the association have convened and gathered a lot, and for good reason. Reviewing the focus and issues addressed at the conventions and gatherings reveals that the more things change, the more things stay the same. Members have always faced challenging and evolving issues related to language, immigration, funding, taxation, teaching days, size of school units, the Education Act, teacher supply and salary negotiations, amalgamation, and legislation. While much was accomplished when members gathered, sometimes they even had a little fun. Boards act as the voice of the community and are responsible to the school communities they represent. In the delivery of education, boards cannot do it alone and must facilitate and develop relationships. The association is very proud of how our members value and respect the role of all education and community partners, even when they don't agree. 100 years ago, school trustees may have started the stove and been directly involved in the operations of the school, but much has changed. Today, the overarching responsibility of the board is to set the direction and vision for the school division, always with the goal of improved student achievement. The SSBA is steadfast in its belief that all students should have the resources they need to achieve and succeed, regardless of where they live in the province or their personal circumstances. So, in celebration of 100 years of the Saskatchewan School Boards Association and in honor of the Year of the Trustee, please take a moment to reflect, to be proud, and always strive to make a difference.
So we've been an association for 100 years in this province. We've had some trials and tribulations. Just even getting established was quite an accomplishment. We will have some difficulties as boards of education within this province in the next 100 years, but we've built those foundations and we know that we can work together to improve students and quality of life in this province.